The University of Massachusetts acquired Brandman University in 2021 and rebranded it as UMass Global. The student population has shrunk in the past few years from 23,000 down to only 10,000, and it leaves me asking, is this school still worth it? And is it good for busy adults who want to graduate quickly and inexpensively? Today, I'm grading UMass Global in 4 categories to give it a GPA. If it gets at least a 3.0, that means it's hackable and maybe a good fit for you. UMass Global's standard cost per credit is $500 plus $39 per credit for books and supplies. That's kind of expensive compared to the average online college credit, which costs about $400 plus maybe like $20 in fees. But if you're going to UMass Global, I don't think you're going for standard courses. I think you're probably going for their MyPath, flexible, self-paced, competency-based education option. Basically, they have several degrees with courses in which you go at your own pace, where they have a big project you have to do, and once you've shown competency in that, you pass the class and you move on to the next one. And they only charge $3,300 for 6 months, which comes out to about $18 a day, which is the least expensive competency-based option that I have ever seen. Even Western Governors University comes out to $22 per day. And paying that $18 a day, if you're working really hard, you could finish 15 classes or maybe more. Or if you're going a little bit slower and chilling out, maybe you only finish 4 classes. Whatever the case, because we're mostly looking at their competency-based in this review, we're going to go ahead and give them a really solid A for cost. First off, UMass Global will let you transfer in up to 75% of your degree, which means that for a 120 credit degree, you could potentially transfer in 90 credits, which is awesome. But you're going to have to work hard to be able to do that because UMass Global doesn't seem to like Sophia, Sailor, Study.com, or Straighterline. What are all of those, you might ask? Well, here on College Hacked, we talk a lot about third-party self-paced courses, basically competency-based, but just not done by a college, done by a third-party company, which you can then use to transfer that credit into your college. UMass Global, though, doesn't seem to accept a lot of these, or they will accept a lot of the courses, but they don't accept them as specific courses, just as like generic electives. It's really hard to find an actual course from one of our normal providers that they'll say, oh yeah, that actually counts as this general education course, and almost impossible to find one that'll transfer in as a major area course, which means that we have to turn to CLEP and DSST exams to get any kind of serious college hacking mileage out of US Global. These exams are basically set up so that you pay a certain amount to go get an exam proctored, you study for the test, you take it, and if you pass, you can get college credit. There are more direct correlations to courses at UMass Global using these, but there's still not a ton. In fact, I did a rough draft hack of their business degree, and even still, there were only like 10 courses that I could find being able to hack from anywhere, which translates to 30 credits, which translate to a quarter of the degree, and means that if you go there without transfer credits from another school or military experience that fit just perfectly with what they're looking for, you're not going to be able to hack a whole bunch. Now, if you were going to go to UMass Global anyway, congratulations. I just saved you like a year of your life and a ton of money. But if you're on the market for a really hackable college, it means that UMass Global is going to be harder to hack. I will say in their defense that they do have a prior learning assessment option, which allows you through the school itself to be able to get credit for work experience and things that you already know. But you have to go through 2 classes to be approved to be able to actually do that. So for all of that, for transfer friendliness, UMass Global gets a C. When we talk about degree choice, we're looking for 2 things, variety and flexibility. When it comes to variety, UMass Global has a ton of degrees to choose from. They've got computer degrees, healthcare administration degrees, a lot of the stuff you normally find online. But they only have 9 of these self-paced MyPath competency-based degrees that we're really looking for. Thankfully, they're all either business or tech-focused, and so they're very applicable to a lot of people's career goals. They've got data analytics, IT, data science, supply chain, some really good stuff. As for flexibility, though, we don't have a ton to work with because their general education tends to be in the 40 to 45 credit range, and their major areas are right around 50. But then in their business degree, you also have to have somewhere around like a 19 to 20 credit like specialization, which leaves 5 to 10 credits of free electives. So if you went to college in the past and maybe you had a degree in music you were trying to get and you dropped out and now you want to transfer those credits in here, there's very little space where all those music credits are going to fit. Or if you've got a lot of military experience, I mean, kind of good luck being able to find somewhere in this like tiny little free elective section for all that military training to give you any credit. At the same time, if you're coming in with 0 transfer credits and you're really wanting to go to just this school, you're not worried about getting credits from other places, that's not going to bother you so much. You're going to get to take a lot of courses in your major area, and you're probably going to learn a ton. And they're more flexible than WGU, which just doesn't have any free electives at all. So for all of that, I'm giving them a C for degree choice. Now you've got all the facts. Let's talk about what it's like for students who actually go here. They've got a 93% acceptance rate, and they have a 55% graduation rate, which is actually really good for an online program. It suggests some level of quality and more student services to help support people to get past the finish line. They're a nonprofit, they're private, they're accredited. There's no questions about the value of the degree here. And even Brandman University, that it used to be called, didn't seem to have a lot of scandals or information about it that made people super suspicious of that program. Oh, and US News and World Report ranking puts them at 138th best online college. And that might not sound like a big deal, but it easily puts them in the top half. Kind of the average online college that we recommend our clients go to gets like a 4.3 out of 5 stars from niche.com. UMass Global, unfortunately, only gets a 4, and it seems like a lot of that has to do with people reporting poor customer service. Here's somebody saying that the academic advisor didn't make my initial ed plan correct so I could graduate when intended. This person really didn't like their experience with online professors, and this person didn't like the cost of the university. At the same time, most of the complaints that I'm seeing are really old and actually predate the rebranding to Brandman University. What I'm surmising from all of this is that UMass Global's quality is actually probably higher than 4.0, and they're just trying to shake that reputation or all these bad reviews from like 10 years ago. And in the past year, we have reviews saying things like, my experience with UMass Global has been very good. The staff has always been fast and reliable in responding back through email or text messages. My academic advisor has been extremely supportive throughout my school career. So for all of this, I would say that probably a UMass Global student experience is going to be solidly above average, and I'm going to go ahead and give them, I think, a strong B. And at the end of the day, the GPA for UMass Global is 2.75. And that's not quite 3, but I think there's some wiggle room to get them over that line. If you are looking to just go to a specific college, maybe you're a little bit younger, you don't have a lot of transfer credits to go to, and you want some really inexpensive, but good quality education from a competency-based school, I think this is a really good choice. It's not as good for people who want to hack college, but if you're really looking for something simpler, you want to go to a school that you trust, that's got that UMass affiliation, which I think is really cool, then I think Global has a lot to offer. Add in the fact that you can hack the first year, now you're graduating for probably somewhere under, maybe $15,000 if you're really putting the effort in. So even though they didn't hit the 3.0, I still think that UMass Global is a quality school for what they are targeting and trying to accomplish. If you're looking for other top-notch hackable online colleges, look no further. This right here will show you the 7 best ones that I recommend in 2024. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, found something useful. Thanks for watching, and happy hacking.